Hi there, I'm Tara Kessner. Welcome to Next Level Yoga. Today's class is I'm calling a challenging flow for challenging times. It'll get you out of your head, into your body, hopefully help you forget all of the world's problems today. For today's class, you're going to need a block. You don't need it, but I suggest one. If you don't have a proper yoga block, then a book would do. A big, thick, hardback where you could just make sure you tie it together so it doesn't sprawl out on you. A sturdy box. Or maybe one of those plastic shoebox organizers tops with the lid on. Just something that can extend the length of your arm a little bit. So go ahead and hit pause if you need to and go find that. And when you come back, we'll be here. And while your finger's there, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button down there and subscribe to the channel. And you'll get more of this free content. So hopefully you're back. And let's get started. Find yourself a comfortable way to sit. Set your block off to the top. Rest your hands on your knees. Take a big slow breath in, and when you exhale, close down your eyes. And just take a second to settle in and to notice where your breath is at. If I had to guess, I would say your shoulders are probably cranked up by your ears, your ribs are probably tucked in tight, and some of the muscles in your back might be clenching. So as you begin to exhale, start to think about softening the shoulders, relaxing the back. And each time you exhale, just let go a little more. And let's take 3 breaths together. I'll guide you through them. Go ahead and exhale now. And begin to inhale. Here we go. Inhale. Hold on to it at the top. Open up your mouth and slowly blow it out. Relax your shoulders. 2 more like that. Inhale. Hold on to it at the top. And open your mouth and blow it out. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Now, without opening your eyes up yet, reach your hands behind you. Turn your palms out to the side, and as you inhale, reach for the ceiling. Turn your palms out to the side, and as you exhale, bring them back down and behind you. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, reach it up. This time, lift your face, open your eyes, look to the ceiling. Now turn your palms forward. Keep lifting up and begin to hinge forward at the waist, floating your hands down to the ground. Now you can walk the hands closer or you can walk the hands further away, depending on how tight your hips are and your low back. Then let your head drop and round your upper back. So fan out those back ribs. And then as you exhale, allow the back ribs to contract back down. Let's do that again. Take a breath in, rounding the upper back. Exhale, let it go. Walk the hands over to your right. Settle in there. Take a breath in. Let it go. 1 more of those. Inhale. And exhale. Let's walk the hands back through the center and to your left. Breath in. Breath out. 1 more. Let it go. Walk it back to center. Walk your hands back in toward your legs. Sit up tall. Left hand's going to go behind you. Right hand's going to go across, resting on your knee. Now sit up tall while you're still facing forward, and then slowly look around behind you, trying to keep that nice tall spine. Take a breath in, and let that breath go. Let's bring it back to the front and take it to the other side. Sit up tall. Rotate as you look to the left or to the right. Breath in and breath out. Bring it back to the front, and let's come over to hands and knees. It's coming into all fours. Fingers are spread wide. Knees are right under the shoulders, or knees are right under the shoulders, yes, of course. Under the hips, hands under the shoulders, and begin to drop your belly down. We're going to exaggerate this cat-cow a little bit today. Get some movement going. So begin by taking a breath in. Now as you exhale, suck your belly button in, round your spine, and then begin to bring your hips back towards your heels, dropping your head. Now to get back to cow pose, dip the chest down, inhale, look up, drop your belly, and then suck your belly in, round the spine, sink back in this cat stretch. Blow it out. 2 more times. Big inhale to cow, big exhale to cat. 1 more time. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat. And from here, go ahead and sink back to child's pose, letting your hips find their way down towards your heels. Drop your head, stretch your arms out long, and take a big breath in. And blow it out. And here we go. Start to make your way back to all fours. Tuck your toes under. Lift one knee, then the other. Make your way to downward facing dog, dropping your head, pedaling out your heels. Let's press into one heel and bend the opposite knee. Push into that heel. Take a breath in. Let the breath go. Swap out the feet, bending the opposite knee, really pushing in to the other heel. Breath in. Breath out. When you're ready, begin to walk your way up to the top of your mat. Let's spend a little time in ragdoll here, bringing the knees right up under your belly and your ribs, letting your head hang, letting your arms be heavy. You can leave the arms hanging or grab opposite elbows, but let the weight spill forward. Allow the spine to decompress, and just find your breath here. We're going to start moving and working, so take this moment of quiet to settle in to your body. 1 more breath. When you're ready, drop your arms. Slide your hands up the fronts of your shins and onto your knees, or you'll push yourself off your legs, swing your tail under you, and slowly round roll your way up to standing, dragging your fingers up your legs, lifting the shoulders into the ears, rolling them back and down, coming into this classic mountain pose. Turn the thumbs out and just rock around in your feet a little bit. Now, how we're going to do this, the first rotation is going to have all the modifications. Second rotation, we're going to turn up the volume. No modifications. In the last 2 rounds, you can modify or do the other version, or a little of both. So let's get started. Let's bring the arms up and overhead, reach up into mountain. Settle in here, relax your shoulders down and off your ears. And then begin to lean to your left, dropping your left hand down, reaching up more than reaching over. Side bend. Then we'll bring it up to the top and drop the right hand down. Lean to the right, reaching more up than over. And then bring it back up to the center. Bend your knees. Swan dive halfway down. Hands come onto the knees. Nice flat back. Begin to straighten out your legs. Look out beyond your mat. Halfway lift. Now rebend the knees, bring your belly closer to your legs, slide your hands down to your shins, walk your fingertips forward, and step your left foot way back, and lower that left knee onto the mat into a lunge. Shift around a little if you need to. And then we'll plant that left hand on the mat. Bring the right hand onto the knee, bringing the chest towards the inside of the knee, and look around behind you, revolved lunge. And we'll bring it back to the front. Bring that right hand down. You're going to tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Now down dog kick. Drag this right foot back. Kick it up in the air behind you. And push into that left heel. Now look under your right arm. Turn your face and start to turn your belly button out to the side. And then we'll square the hip bones back towards the ground. Bring that foot down. And we're going to make our way to plank. So hinge forward, bringing the wrists and the shoulders in line with each other, and then dropping your knees down, kneeling plank. Now we're going to move from here to side plank. Kick the left foot off the mat to the side. Straighten out your right leg and begin to turn so you can lift your right hand off the mat, reaching up, stacking the hands, trying to get them kind of in line with each other. Hand, shoulder, head, shoulder, hand again in one line. And then a modification of Wild Thing. You're going to reach over your head and slide your right foot back, kind of pressing your hips forward. Now let's bring the foot back in line with the hip, reach back up, and from this side plank, we'll come back to our kneeling plank. From kneeling plank, we're going to lower ourselves down onto our bellies. Bring the feet together, lift the knees off the mat, and low cobra. Peel the chest up. Drawing the shoulder blades together, elbows in tight. And then we'll slowly lower that back down. And now lift your feet up and push yourself back into kneeling plank. Bring your feet back down. And we'll take this over to the right. So kick the right foot out off the side of the mat. Look to the left and lift up that left hand. Side plank, modified. And then pose is called Wild Thing. I didn't name it. Slide your left foot back, reach your arm up and over your head, kind of looking up to the ceiling. And then reach back for the ceiling. Slide that foot back in line with your hip, side plank. From side plank, we'll come back to our kneeling plank. And from here, we'll lower down slow onto our bellies. Stretch the legs out long. Lift your kneecaps so they hover above the mat, and with an inhale, cobra pose. As you exhale, lower it back down. Lift your feet if you like to, and reverse your push-up, coming back to that kneeling plank. From there, you can walk the knees forward a bit to all fours, and then to downward facing dog. Drop your head, lift your hips, and take a breath here. We're going to walk the feet up towards the wrists. And we're coming to chair pose. So feet are relatively close together. Sit your hips back and down. Bring your hands onto your knees and push your upper body off your legs, reaching for the back of the mat with the tailbone. From here, we take a twist. Bring your right elbow down and rest it on your right knee. And sweep your left arm out to the side. Now bring that left hand onto your low back as you turn and open your chest to the side. Chair twist. And then we'll release that, bring it back to the center. Back to that chair pose. And we'll do that to the right. Left elbow comes down to rest on the knee. Sweep the right hand out to the side. And then bring it around onto your low back or your hip if you can't quite get there. Open your chest up to the side. Let's bring that back to center. Push back up into that chair pose and bring your hands around behind you. Hook your index fingers together. Lift your chin off your chest. Now begin to straighten your legs as you stand up. Lift your shoulders up, roll them back and down, and lift your gaze. Standing camel pose. And release. That's the sequence with the modifications. Let's try it without the modifications. Bring yourself into mountain, reach up overhead. Let's press the palms together, interlace all the fingers, take a breath in, and when you exhale, lean to your left, side bend. And on the inhale, come back to center. On the exhale, lean to the right. And then bring it back up to center. Release your hands, bend your knees. This time we'll swan dive all the way down. And from there, we'll take a halfway lift. Slide the hands up onto the shins, flatten out the back, straighten out the legs. From this halfway lift, bring the hands down. This time we'll step the right foot back into a lunge, but we won't drop the knee. We'll settle around here and then plant that right hand, look to the left, and reach that left hand for the ceiling revolved lunge. From revolved lunge, bring that hand down. We're going to down dog kick, left foot. Drag it back, kick it free, lift it up. Now look under your left arm. Turn your belly button out to the side and bend that left knee, opening up the front of that left hip. Let's square the hips back to the mat. And lower the foot down to downward facing dog. From this down dog, we are moving into plank. So bring yourself into plank, not dropping the knees this time. And then look to your left, drop your heels to the right. You can stagger the feet or stack them, your choice. Side plank, lift that left hand up. Lift up your left foot, put it on the ground behind you. Spin your belly button towards the ceiling and reach up overhead, wild thing. And then come back to side plank. Feet can be staggered, it's a little easier. From there, back to plank. Look out beyond your mat, take a breath in. As you exhale, lower partway down and pause. Now reach forward with the center of your chest, push the ground away, upward facing dog. And from up dog, back to plank. Look to the right, drop the heels to the left, stagger the feet or stack, and reach into that side plank. From this side plank, lift up your right foot, put it on the ground behind you, spin your belly button to the sky, and reach up and back. Wild thing. Bring it back to side plank, whatever version you prefer. And then we'll take that back to plank. Look out beyond your mat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower partway and hold. Inhale to an upward facing dog. And exhale back to plank. From here, downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Take a breath. And we are going to bend the knees and jump up towards the wrist as far as you can go. Moving into chair. Make sure the knees are pinched together. This time we reach out, hands out from the chest or up high. Depends on what your shoulder's like. And then we'll bring the palms to touch. Look to your right. Bring your left elbow down, either in between your knees or to the outside of that right knee. Prayer twist. Bring it back up to chair. Take a breath in. As you exhale, look left and take that twist over to the left. Bring it back up to center. Release your hands. Turn your palms out. Sweep them around. Open up, interlace all the fingers behind you. Now lift the knuckles to the back of the mat. Lift your chest, lift your chin, and then begin to stand up, straightening your legs, rolling the shoulders back, sliding the hands down the back side, standing camel, and release. So those are the two versions. We're going to flow through it a little faster now, and you can take the modifications or not. It's up to you. Let's give it a try. Inhale to mountain. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to mountain. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step that left foot back into a lunge. Let's plant that left hand, and with a big inhale, revolve your lunge, right hand high. Exhale it down. Down dog kick. Inhale, kick that right leg up behind you. Exhale, open up the hips as you look under the right arm. Inhale it back. And as you exhale, lower that foot. Inhale as you come to plank. Exhale, side plank, look to the right, lift. Look to the right, lift the right hand up. Step the foot behind you, wild thing, inhale. Exhale back to your side plank. Bring it back to plank. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lower part way or all the way down. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale back to plank. Look to the left. Inhale, side plank, lift that left hand up. Exhale, wild thing. Reach back. Inhale it back to side plank. And exhale back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back to plank. Lift it back up to downward facing dog, where you'll gather up your breath. And as you exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to chair. Exhale, side twist to the left. Inhale to center. Twist, look to your right. Inhale to center. Sweep the arms around behind you, and as you exhale, lift your chin, open up your chest. Inhale as you stand up. Exhale as you roll the shoulders back and down and look overhead. One more time through. Inhale to mountain. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, center. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot steps back into that lunge, and with an inhale, revolve your lunge, left hand high. Exhale it down. Down dog kick on the inhale, kick it up high. Exhale as you open up that hip. Square the hips back to the mat and lower your foot. On the inhale, come to plank, your version. Look to the left, lift that left hand, side plank. Inhale, exhale to wild thing. Inhale back to center, side plank. Exhale back to plank. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower. On the inhale, cobra or up dog. And on the exhale, back to plank. Look to the right. Side plank again. Lift it up. Lift up that back foot. Step that foot behind you. Wild thing. Blow it out. Inhale back to side plank. Exhale back to plank. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, lower. On the inhale, cobra or up dog. And take it back on the exhale to plank. Lift it up to downward facing dog. Gather up your breath. Inhale. As you exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. And then inhale to chair. Twist, looking to the right. Blow it out. Inhale back to center. Twist, looking to the left. Inhale to center. As you exhale, sweep the hands behind you. Open up the chest. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Look up and over your head. Bring it back to center and pause. Gather up your breath. Fix your pants if you need to. And we're going to do my favorite balance pose, which is standing figure 4. Do the modification first, and then we'll amplify it a little bit on the second try. Step into your left foot, bend that left knee. Make a little shelf with that knee. Now lift up your right ankle, rest it on that little shelf, and you can leave your hands on your hips, or you can reach them out. And just play around with bending and straightening that left knee. Well, let's take it over to the right, see how that works. Step into that right foot, make a shelf, rest the ankle, bend and straighten that knee a few times, finding your balance. All right, a little more if you want it. Step back into the left foot, ankle to knee. Begin to sit back and down. Now you can bring your hands to prayer, sitting the hips down, or you can bring one hand to your knee, one hand to your foot, sit down a little lower. Or maybe bring that elbow to the knee, the elbow to the foot, and get really low. I like this because it gives you that outer hip stretch. It's got the balance. It's just my favorite balance pose. Take another breath. And when you're ready, begin to stand on up. And step that right foot down. Let's try it on the right side. Bending that right knee, resting the ankle on the knee. Maybe just stay right here for today. Or start to sink down, hands to prayer in front of the chest, maybe right here, or lower. You can bring the hand down onto the foot, one hand onto the knee. Find a spot to rest your gaze. If you want to go lower, bring your elbow to your foot, and your elbow to your knee, and your hands to prayer. And then find your balance. Draw your belly button in a little to stabilize your low spine. And then breathe into that left hip. One more breath here. When you're ready, begin to make your way up and out. Second challenging flow. This one's the one where you're going to need that block. Have it towards the top of your mat, on its tallest setting, preferably, if you're able to do that. If you're just using a book, just make sure it's not going to fall apart when you hold on to it. So we'll step up and we'll come back to mountain pose. Reach back up overhead. Hopefully we've got our breath back after that first flow. And from mountain, we're going to move into airplane. This first round is all modifications. So drop the hands, bend the right knee, and slide that left foot back. Balancing the toe on the mat is perfectly fine, but play around with lifting it. Find where your hands need to be. And from this airplane, balancing half moon. So you're going to reach down with your right hand. If you go to the floor, that's fine. This is where I like the block. And your left hand's going to come onto your hip. You can keep that toe on the mat and look to the left and begin kicking up the foot. Eventually, you'll kick that foot to hip height. Balancing half moon with modification. Now from here, we're going to go to reverse warrior. So bend that front knee and bring your back foot to the mat. Flip your palm to the ceiling on the right hand and then reach up into reverse warrior. Drop that back hand and just reach up and out of the rib cage. From reverse warrior, side angle. Bring that front hand down, sweep the left hand up. You can come onto your forearm if you prefer. Reaching up or reaching over the head. Now from side angle, we'll bring that left hand down and the right. Grab the block with your left hand, so you're in a lunge with your left hand resting on the block and your right fingertips on the mat. Begin to lift up your back foot and then reach that right hand out to the side, keeping both relatively low to the ground. You can lift the hand higher, or lift the foot higher, or both. Begin to straighten out that front leg. Revolved half moon. Now from here, we'll bring the hand down, and we'll bring the foot down. We'll bend the front knee and get the feet in a warrior one situation, so they're both grounded on the floor. Begin to crawl up to standing, reaching the arms up and overhead, looking up and taking a breath in. From warrior one, you're going to hinge forward and reach for the horizon. Now we're going to bring the left hand down onto the front knee and the right hand onto the right hip and turn the chest to the side for a twist, keeping the spine nice and long. From here, square the chest back towards the ground. Bring the hands to prayer in front of your chest. Now begin to lean forward, putting all the weight in the front foot and lifting that back foot up behind you. You can start to reach the hands forward a little, working your way into a modified warrior three. And from warrior three, drop the hands. Begin to drag that back foot up, lifting the knee up in front of you into one-legged mountain. Put your left hand on your left hip. Reach your right hand straight out from your chest and look to the left for a little twist. And step it back down. That's the end of the sequence with all the modifications. Now let's try it without the modifications. Have your block towards the top of your mat and reach up in to mountain. From mountain, we move to airplane with the right foot back. So sweep the arms back, bend the knees, and reach back with that right foot. Lifting it off the mat, maybe up to hip height, maybe bending the knee and getting a little lower. Now look down. With your left hand, grab your block. Start to look to the right. Reach your right hand for the ceiling. Open everything up to the side of the mat, balancing half moon. From balancing half moon, reverse warrior. Lower your back foot, lower your hand. With an inhale, sweep that left hand up. Reverse warrior, look down at your back foot. And from reverse warrior, side angle. Bring that front elbow down to rest. Reach up and overhead. Maybe off the top of your mat, your choice. And then we'll bring that right hand down. Find your block again, this time with your right hand. Coming into a lunge, left fingertips on the mat. Begin to lift up your back foot. Reach your left arm out to the side. Look out to the side. Revolved half moon. Try to keep a nice flat back here. Now let's bring the hand down and the back foot, setting up for warrior one. So make sure you're firmly grounded in your feet. From here, we take the arms wide and we slowly rise up to standing, reaching up into this warrior one. Taking a breath and then hinge forward at the waist and bring the palms to touch. Look to your left and bring your right elbow down to the outside of that front knee. Try to keep the spine as long as possible. And from this twist, square your chest to the mat. Thumbs in towards your chest. Put all the weight in your front foot. Lift your back foot up. And like you're doing the breaststroke, swim forward. Reach the arms out. Warrior three. From warrior three, drop your hands. Bring that right knee up in front of you, one-legged mountain. Reach the left hand forward. Reach the right hand back. Option to grab the big toe and kick that foot out. And bring it back. End of sequence without the modifications. We'll go through that 2 more times. Your choice as to how many modifications you want to use. But I recommend the block under all circumstances. Let's take it with a little bit of pace this time. Inhale to mountain. Left leg, exhale, airplane. Drop that right hand down. And with an inhale, balancing half moon. On the exhale, bring it down to the mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale as you make your way to a lunge, left hand on the block. Take a breath in. As you exhale, revolved half moon, lifting that back foot, reaching out to the right. On the exhale, bring that all down. Inhale, warrior one, reach up tall. Exhale as you hinge forward. Inhale, press the palms together. On the exhale, take that twist. Look to the right. Inhale it back to center. Set yourself up. Take a breath in. As you exhale, your version of warrior three. As you inhale, one-legged mountain. As you exhale, twist, look left. And then bring it back to center. Last time through. Inhale to mountain. Right leg back, airplane. Drop that left hand and with an inhale, balancing half moon. Look out there. And then lower it down with an exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale as you set up in that lunge. Left hand on the block. Inhale, lift up, revolved half moon. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, rise up to warrior one. Exhale as you hinge forward. Take a breath in as you maybe press the palms, and on the exhale, twist. Inhale, square it back to center. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, warrior three, launch yourself into it, hold on. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, twist. Bring it back to center. Step it down. Take a big breath in as you reach up. As you exhale, swan dive halfway down, hands onto your knees as you step your feet wide. Turn your toes out. And then tuck the tail under. Tuck your chin into your chest and take a big breath. As you exhale, swing the tailbone back, lift your face. Bring it in again. Take a breath in. Let the air go as you release your tailbone. One more time. Inhale, swing that tailbone under. And exhale, release. Let's go ahead and slide the hands on down the shins. Drop your head, look through your legs. Let your arms dangle or hold on to opposite elbows and sway it out from side to side. And just release your low back. Take your time here. Shake out your head. And bring your hands to the mat. And start to step the feet back to downward facing dog, where we'll pause and tuck the belly in, suck your belly button in, lift your hips a little higher, bring your chin closer to your chest. Take a big breath here. As you finish that breath, bend your knees, take them nice and wide. Child's pose. Sink the hips back in the direction of the heels. Lower your head to the mat. Maybe stack up some fists. Rest your head there. And take a couple of breaths. And begin to lift your face. Come on up, bring your knees in. Come into hero's pose. And if you don't like hero's pose, just go ahead and have a seat. Let's just sit back on the feet and rub out the thighs a little bit. Let's take a few breaths. Just allowing the quads to stretch out, stretching out the fronts of the ankles just a little bit. Relaxing the shoulders down. Maybe close your eyes. I'm here for one more breath. As you finish that breath, come forward to all fours, roll out your ankles, wiggle your toes, and then find your way onto your back. However you want to get there, it's perfectly cool. But as you come onto your back, hug your knees in, draw a circle with your knees in one direction, really pulling the knees up towards your ribs and pushing them away on the lower part of the circle, working your way all the way around the edges of the lumbar vertebrae. And then we'll reverse, draw that circle, going the other way, and then pause. Lift up your left foot and interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. Now hug that leg into your ribs and stretch the right leg out long and lower it to the ground. And with your hands interlaced behind, you've got no pressure on the knee. You might even find lifting the foot up is helpful. And really draw that thigh up into these left ribs. Now focus on the straight leg. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, point the toes. Hold it, really reaching out as long as you can. One more breath. Now when you exhale, consciously let go. You create the tension in the leg, and then you release the tension in the leg. One more breath here. And then gently release the grip on that knee. Bring this knee in. Rock it out a little bit. Interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. Hug that leg in and stretch that left leg out long and lower it to the floor. Now draw this right leg just a little closer. Really holding it in there. Now begin to point the toes on the left leg. Inhale as you really reach out there like you're trying to touch something with your toe that's just a little too far away. Breath in. As you exhale, completely release and let go of that left leg. And then we'll bring that left knee in. Fingertips onto the knees, kind of rock the knees a little bit, and then drop the arms out to the side. Drop your knees over to the right. Maybe you'll scooch up onto that right hip a little bit and look to the right. Take a breath. As you exhale, really release and let yourself sink into the floor. Stop gripping and allow yourself to be supported by the floor. Let's lift up that left knee. Let the right knee follow it back to center, and then we'll drop the knees over to the left. Rock your head a little. Close your eyes. Really release on your exhale. And just notice all the places where your body is touching the floor. Your feet, your knees, your hip, your shoulder, your hands, your arms. One more breath here. And lift up the right knee. Bring it back to center. We'll hug the knees in. Lift the head, forehead towards the knees. Squeeze everything in tight. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, stretch the legs out long and reach the arms up overhead. Reach through the fingers, reach through the toes. And then final relaxation. Bring your hands down, rest them on your belly or out to the side. Separate your feet as wide as or wider than the mat. Shake out your legs, rock out your hips. And maybe lift up and readjust your tailbone. When tension comes up to the shoulders, lift your chest, readjust your shoulder blades underneath you, and rock your head. Really settle in to something that's comfortable for you here. Close down your eyes. Take one last big, slow inhale. And let it go. And then just be still and quiet. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a nice, slow, easy, gentle inhale. And with an exhale, create a quiet little sigh just to yourself. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And gently rock your head. Go ahead and bend your knees and walk your feet up onto the mat if they're not already. And start to sway your knees slowly from side to side, rolling across the tailbone, the SI joints, sacrum. And the next time that your knees go to the right, pause and go ahead and roll onto that right hip. And get yourself comfortable on your side. Take 3 very slow breaths here. And as you finish that 3rd breath, go ahead and open up your eyes and start to push yourself on up to a comfortable seated position. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers, flip the palms forward, reach out and drop chin into chest. Take a breath in here. On the exhale, sweep the arms wide, hook the fingers behind your back and lift the center of your chest and lift your chin. And then release. Sweep the arms up and overhead with a nice big inhale. Press the palms and blow it out as you bring your hands on down. Thank you so much for joining me today for this challenging flow for challenging times. I hope it gave you a little break from the rest of the craziness in this world. Namaste.